switch to English. So we are live. Cool.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, so good morning, I would say, yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Yeah, in my case it's evening, so you need to say good evening.
Okay, wait, yes. Because it's 9 a.m. like in my country, in my state. So yeah, it's sort of like morning, but good evening.
Yeah, and good morning because in my case it's 7 p.m. because it's not even like Moscow region, so it's 1 hour later. So
It's even more far away.
yeah, even further. So the first question that I'd like to ask, was it difficult to get used to like different time zones when you just came?
Well, sort of yes, because at first I had a really like massive jet lag. But because at the same time I wasn't in quarantine like for 2 weeks, I had plenty of time to adjust, just like live on my own, like with my own pace and stuff like that. So I don't think that it was that big of a deal, but yeah, it was a little bit difficult for me.
Okay, and about the quarantine situation, so going like from the last events to the more earliest, uh, you had to take a test, and then was it positive or how was it?
Oh, okay. Like, I would rather start from the very beginning because, like, when I just arrived here, I had to test negative for COVID 3 times, so I can actually like communicate with people and just be around on campus. And when I just came here, I had to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks and then just come back to normal. But currently, we have a very interesting situation because, like, I guess yesterday we were all notified that we have a positive case on campus. One of the people got tested positive for COVID, and it actually meant that we all should like be shut down, like in our rooms. So currently, yes, we are stuck in our rooms, and we are like delivered food. We don't go anywhere, and it's kind of sad because today is Halloween, like October 31st, and we were planning a lot of events like Halloween fashion show and just partying, just like hanging out and just various random like American events. But because of this particular situation, we are not allowed to do anything, and it's very sad. I hope we will be able to reschedule all the events to postpone them, but not sure actually.
Okay, so are you shutting down for 2 weeks as usually they do?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so, because we will we will have to get tested, all of them, all of the students, like all 250 people, and also all the faculty and all the staff, like all the staff. But I think it will last for 3 or 4 days until all people will get tested, and only then like we will come back to normal.
Okay, and will you be tested for free?
Yeah, sure thing. Everybody who like not only comes to this state but also who comes to this particular institution, yes, we're all tested for free. And if like once we hope the vaccine will be ready, we will also get it for free. And like all other random vaccines, it's also for free. Partly because of the events and partly because like the schools, the institution really does care about our health, and like they do their best to make sure that we're all safe and like healthy and alive.
Wow, that's really different in comparison with Russian higher institutions. I'm jealous.
Yeah, sort of, yes.
Okay, so look, we have now some number of like viewers, so we can start with the very introduction because I didn't introduce myself and you. So Yeah, I'm just V, and my channel is like Roulette and Talking Heads, and here is my talking head today. And this is Mary. How do you prefer to be called? Mary, Maria, or how do you introduce yourself?
Like, I ask people to call myself Masha, especially here, because here on campus we have 5 or 6 Marias, and it may be a little bit confusing. And Masha is like a very Russian way to address Maria, so let it be Masha.
Okay.
And
yeah, because I remember that in your blog you call yourself Mary, and that's why I started like naming you like that.
I'm pretty flexible. Like, to be honest, I don't really care.
Yeah, because there are people who care. That's why I'm asking. Okay, and don't you have don't you have any problems like because you have not Russian but like Slavic origin, and when people hear Masha, what do they talk to you?
Well, can you please repeat the overall question, because my connection was sort of not very good, and I don't want like to miss some parts of the question.
So the first one was, don't you have any problems or maybe some funny situations connected with your Slavic origin and with your name Masha, because you introduce yourself like that? What do people think when they hear that name?
Okay. For now, I don't think that I have experienced any like funny situations, especially when it comes to my name, because like I'm currently attending an international school and international boarding school like University USA, and it means that there are people from like a lot of regions here, like from more than 80 countries, and a lot of other people's names they may also find sound a little bit like funny or like unusual, and just I think that people got used to this here, especially like here in this particular environment. So no, I don't think so. Well, I when I introduce myself, I always explain why Masha, because like I explained this is like short for Maria in Russia and other Slavic countries like Ukraine, Belarus, and it sort of like eliminates all like misunderstandings and like minor confusions. But also something I would like to outline, even though if people would have some problems with my name, they're actually all like very respectful here, and they would rather like to learn how to pronounce it or like what it means than like to make fun of it or just like, nah, I cannot pronounce it, let's just like move on, or like I will call you like American style, like Mary or something like that. Now it's not the case. People are actually like very respectful here, and they're very willing to learn and like to, because like when you learn other people's names, you also like sort of connect with their culture a little bit, and that's what's important.
Wow, that's really cool because again, in comparison with Russia, I think that there are cases so people just change the name to like a Russian style or something. Yeah, so that's one of the
It's actually very good
difference.
that you like draw those like with like Eastern European reality, because even for me it's very interesting to reflect, because like I've been here for more than 2 months already, and I feel so disconnected with my like just with Ukraine, for example. Just like I forgot already a lot of stuff, like I don't know why, but yeah.
How do you think, would it be
That's really cool.
painful to come back, for example, for a long time after experiencing all this like American spirit?
Um, to be honest, a little bit yes, because I don't know, when I came here, I like when I called to my mom back home, like I always tell her, "Oh my God, mom, I feel so happy here. I just feel euphoric all the time." And I thought, like when I just came here, I thought that this feeling would vanish soon, like in a couple of weeks. But it's been a while already, and I still feel like every single day like very very happy, very grateful for everything I have here, just for like friends, teachers. I know like ever seen like my room. And yeah, I would, for now, at least for now, I would not like to come back to Ukraine, but probably like in 2 years, because I'm here like for 2 years, I will miss my home and I will be like very, very willing to come back and like see my friends, see my family, see my native town, and
Yeah, but you
yeah.
will look on everything like with different, from
Yeah,
different
definitely. My
perspective.
perspective will change drastically, but yeah. Like, but did you ask about just like coming back for like a summer vacation or just like coming back
Coming
to the
back.
country
Yeah,
to
about
live?
that.
Like coming back? Um, yeah, that's a very interesting question because like I have actually no idea what is going to happen in 2 years. Like everything is just like when you live in another country, everything is very, very unstable. But we also have like pandemic. We also have like some like financial stuff may happen. Like yeah, it's so uncertain, but we will see.
hmm Okay, and I know from my own experience that people, when they come to another country, they feel sort of maybe depression a little bit, and they miss their home, even if they didn't think that they would miss it. So, did you have such experience maybe for a while, for a
Um,
short time?
that's a very good question. It's absolutely mm, yes. I know like a lot of my friends because I don't know like how it happens, but like a lot of my friends they either study abroad at the moment or they like had that experience in their life. Um, and yeah, it I know that it does happen to some people, and when people, for example, I know like want a scholarship to go to the U.S. university or like want a scholarship for like a fellowship or an internship. Um, but when they actually come to that place, they feel either depressed or very homesick, and those feelings like just happen. Those feelings are valid, but I'm so happy to say that nor for a single day I have experienced those feelings because I have so many friends here. I have I don't know like the environment here suits my mentality so much, and I feel like this place is actually my home. This place is actually where I can be myself and where I can express my personality, where I can like not hide my feelings, but like celebrate them, be proud of them. And I don't know, like I would rather say that this place has cured my depression that I sort of experienced back home. Yeah, that's why I'm so energetic and so happy at the moment. And yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's really great. So, there is a quote that no matter where you go, you take yourself with you. So you cannot be happy like if you try to escape to some certain place. So, can we say that it is not true? So, the place where you are can make you feel better or worse.
I think yes, like the place where you go can actually make you feel better or worse is like absolutely true because it happens to help a lot of people. But um, well, I would rather say that there are also a lot of external factors because not always feelings may depend on a particular like, physical place, and there are also a lot of um just various factors like that I don't know like life is happening actually yeah that may affect the way a person feels. If you don't mind I would provide an example from my life because back to Ukraine I was a very motivated student and probably since grade 8 or something I was like very passionate about going abroad at least at some point in my life. But when it was like 11th grade and I was like studying very hard, but I was very uncertain about my future because like I was pretty sure that I did not want to enter like Ukrainian university because I I just like I want to be a scientist in the future, and like Ukrainian universities are not really suitable for those things. Looking for various options, and I was thinking about applying to the US university for a scholarship, but that meant that I would have to take like standardized testings and just do a lot of stuff. If you know like Darcy's blog,
Yeah, no.
it would be something like that, and I knew that it would be very stressful and like bad for my mental health. And I was so happy that I actually applied here and I got in like here in this place, because it would give me like some time, like 1 more year to prepare myself to learn English, to I know like get adjusted to the system in advance, and only then like I would apply to the US college or university, and probably I would be more successful because I already had like some experience living in the US, but also I don't know, just like because I've got some more time. Yeah, so like going here gave me certainty in life. Like I'm no longer scared of my future, and I know what is going to happen next. I know that like I will apply to the university and I hope I will get into the university. Yeah, and I will hope I will stay in the US for
Okay,
some more time.
so let's tell like our viewers where are you now, what is the scholarship, why it isn't a university now, and what benefits would you get
Mhm.
from it? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm currently studying in a private boarding school that is called UWC USA. It's a part of like a big network of colleges, like schools. They are called, okay, that's later, but like boarding schools that are located in 18 countries. They are called colleges for one more reason, because they're like following. They are the idea to create this whole system was originally from like the UK, and they're following like the UK system. And sometimes in like the UK, 2 last years of school are called colleges, like college. I have never heard it, but like that's what they say. Um, and that's why sometimes this like UWC schools are also called UWC colleges, but they're basically schools. Um, I did not have any option like what country I would go to, so like I was placed here. I did not say, hey, I want to go to the US, please take me to the US. They said, hi, Masha, we were thinking about it, and you are going to the US.
And what
And
were
that's how I
other
ended up.
options? Yeah, sorry for interrupting. I'm
Oh,
just
yes.
curious.
This particular year, the year I actually did apply, the options were the US, Germany, um, Bosnia, Armenia, um, Italy, wait a second, Canada, and I guess like in Africa, a school in Africa. There's also a school in Africa in
Wow.
Tanzania. Yes, and one of my country mates is actually currently studying there, and he says that it's just like wow, out of the world, because like they are living 5 kilometers from Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
really
interesting
cool.
experience, but like you got really lucky that you were chosen to study in the US. And did they have like some ratings, like depending on
Um,
your scores or
um,
something?
they emphasize that like these schools do not have any like ranking, but I know that the one that is like in Wales, the UK, it's like the oldest one, like the first school that was actually established, and it is like considered to be like the most elite one. And then I guess there is the US, Japan, Canada, Germany, and like yeah, like countries like that.
Okay. So you won the scholarship both for your college stay, yes, and for the university
Yes,
you're going to apply to.
I want to. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, no,
I'm
it
just like
was just my question.
overexcited.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I want a scholarship to study here for 2 years in a school, get ready for college, then apply to college and like enter it. And yes, I have already gotten a partial scholarship that covers a certain amount of my college tuition, but not all, because I still have to like apply for additional scholarships. So I have like 100% um, of everything covered. But it's good to know that at least like half of your tuition is already like just covered.
Mm-hmm.
And when you apply to the university, you don't like write in your application like, hey, I need like that big amount of money from you. You say, hey, like I need that amount of money because like this amount of money is already covered by my school. And they're just like, probably we're better to like give this place to this particular students. And that's how the system works.
Okay, and yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the colleges like the tuition fees are really expensive in the US, like up to $30,000 or something.
Yes, like I would say that they start with $30,000 a year, and the prices go up to $80,000 a year.
Wow, that's a lot. I mean, like that's a lot. Yeah.
That's like really a lot. Yeah, there are a lot of jokes here in the US. It's like local US thing. A lot of jokes about like college debts and like yeah.
Like you get the debt to study at the university and then you pay for
Yeah,
that
like
for the whole
a
life,
lot of
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. People like got big loans, and then when they graduate from college or university, they like pay them back. And it's the whole story like of the whole life of the US citizens. Yeah.
And for medical stuff as well, yeah. So
Yeah, and for medicine in particular, because like medicine, I guess, even more expensive, and it's also like I guess that there are like almost no scholarships to go to into med school. I might be wrong, but probably yes.
mhm.
It's like a very like closed community. I mean, like medicine in the US is like a very closed community. It's it's very difficult to enter, and even if you enter, it's like very difficult to pay for being in that community. Yes.
Okay. And speaking about medicine, do they cover your medical, like, do you have medical insurance from your school?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, I do have my medical insurance, but my scholarship does not cover it, as well as it did not cover my visa application fee, and everything else that is like quite a fair amount of everything is covered. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so may I ask about like financial side of all of that? So,
Yes, sure.
yeah,
Like usually I do not speak about it like just in life, but here, yes, I
okay,
give my consent.
yeah, super. So the first question is about like how much money could you do people need to save to study here? Like how much money is yours in this case? Or do they give you some scholarship for a living or something like that?
Okay, I totally got you this question. Totally got the question. Okay, 1 year of studying in this particular school is $40,000 a year, and like for 2 years, it's $80,000. And it covers like those $40,000 a year. They covers like tuition, that is basically just studying, like going to classes, like speaking to professors. But it is also like accommodation, food in the cafeteria, and various other things like I don't know, like creating a project and you like may get money for it. Or I don't know, like you need something just like art supplies for your art classes, and you just come to them and say like, hi, I need like something, and they actually usually give it to you. or I don't know, like attending an art or theater club. It's like what this $40,000 stands for. And like in my financial aid package, like my official document, it says like the cost of attending university for 1 year is $40,000, and like your scholarship amount is $40,000. It means like everything of that is absolutely covered, like 100%. But external things like visa and insurance, they're not covered because it's like my parents' responsibility to like take care of. I know that in some cases, for example, like a boy from Ukraine who graduated in 2018 from the school, he had everything covered, like tickets, visa, everything. But it was only because he could not really afford it. Like he was like really, really, like the financial situation in his family was like really bad, and his father was also like a participant of like the armed conflict in Ukraine. So like they decided to actually like cover everything for him. But it's not my situation because my parents were actually able to pay that price. That was not like a very big sum of money. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have covered only like these things connected to the university, but do you get some fixed amount of money from the college like every month or something that like we do in Russia, for example, in higher institutions?
Yes, not me though. Like this, some students here, not a lot of them, they get pocket money from the school. But it's also only because they come from like very poor countries, and they really like if not that money, then it would be very difficult for them actually to survive here. So how the system works, it's like the faculty and like I don't know, like all of those admission deans, they look very closely at the financial situation of one of each particular applicant for a scholarship, and then they evaluate.
Yes, sorry for interruption. So you get the documents that your parents like get that amount of money per month, yeah, and so on.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's like I guess the system is called like need aware like financial aid. So they do not give money to those who don't need them. Like if they see that the person can actually pay and it would not be significant like financial burden for the family, then they say, hey, like can you contribute like not that big but that particular amount of money. But when they see that a person is like from a country like Afghanistan or like Ethiopia, I don't know how to pronounce it, or like we have a girl from Macedonia.
But sorry
Yes.
for saying like Ukraine and like Russian countries. If we look at the exchange rate, we can be called like poor countries as well.
Yes, but like that's why I have like everything covered except for like not like very big amount of money. Like what my parents did pay is actually like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay then. Well, so um, now let's look at one like other side of your comment here. So
Mm-hmm.
how come that you are here? How did you search for the program? How did you find it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how did it happen?
Okay, it's a very funny story as well as the majority of stories of my life. I was at the like I do not know how to say it well, but like I was at a volunteering forum or something nearby Kiev, and I was trying to practice networking skills, and I was just like asking people around like trying to make some connections, make some friends, make acquaintances. And I accidentally met a boy who actually mentioned this program, like UWC. And I was just like, oh, what is that? Like, where do you go to study if you get in? And he said, oh, I'm currently studying in India. And I was just like, what? In India?
Unusual
Wait,
choice, right?
yes, in school in India? Like, did I hear it right? And he was just like, yes, but like it's an overall like program. It does not depend what country you go to. Like all schools are amazing and the. And that was like, oh, probably I should Google search. And when I just like opened the website, I remember that like excitement because I immediately thought that, oh my God, that's for me. Like, that's for me. That's exactly what I need in my particular situation. Because like, I don't know, like, I didn't, I didn't know what was like the underlying something about that feeling, but I just felt so excited for actually applying to that program. And I know that, like, I'm a really, really big procrastinator. I usually like do everything in the very last moment. But I remember that like that was not the case. Probably the only case in my life when I did everything in advance. I asked my teachers for recommendations like 2 months before deadline or like 3 or 4 months before deadline. I wrote all of my essays like a month before deadline, and then I was just like rereading them, like um, crafting them and stuff like that. Because I was so motivated, and I knew that I enter this program, I would be so happy. Actually, I would like it's a perfect thing for me. Like it was created for me. Yes. And I also did my best to express that in my application essays. And as you see, it turned out to work actually. It did work out.
Yeah. Okay, so when did you apply for that? Like a year ago, half of a year ago, and when did you know the actual result? Did it have several
Mhm.
stages? Did you have the interview after the application letter? So can you tell me the whole process of it?
Yes, sure. Just to mention that the overall process of applying to this like boarding school, it was like almost like applying to the US university. I mean like for financial aid as well. Like if you want to win a grant to study in the US university, the overall process would like look very, very similar. So yes, first it was a big online application with a lot of essays and a lot of sections to fill out.
How many essays, if you remember?
I had to write 2 big essays that were 400 words each, and I also had to write like supplementary essays, approximately 8 of them. That those were like 200 words. Those were more like responses, not like essays, like just meaningful answers to particular questions. But those all should be like very meaningful. I remember that when I was crafting my essays, I was thinking like, is this word valid? Is this word valid? Does this word, like just word by word, like does this word provide information about me? But also like, is it a beautiful word to use? Like a good word, like literal word to use? Oh, my English is so bad actually. Like, oh, I still mix up a lot of
Did you
things.
have people who like also read your essays and like told their opinion?
Yes, I did ask my English teacher in school to proofread my essay. So yes, um, and it took me a lot of time to actually brainstorm and actually write the essays. And I also remember it's like such a chain of coincidences that the deadline to submit the form was actually my birthday, October 10th. And I remember that I spent my birthday just like reading over my essays one more time and then like putting them into my like laptop and submitting the application. And yeah, it was like very interesting. Um,
And yeah,
um,
so this was the first stage, yes? So what happened next
yes,
after
it
you
was the
submitted?
first stage. It's like online application. The second stage is an interview that is an online interview. For example, we used Skype platform, and the interview was obviously in English. It was with a person who is like an alum of this program. For example, they graduated like 10 or 12 years ago from this program, and currently they are either studying in the university or like running their own business or something, but they're interviewing like kids for this program. And I remember that I was like very, very excited, and my interview went like very, very well. I was very proud of myself, and it was something like 30 minutes, pretty short,
Oh,
but
30, is it short? I think it's like a lot because my interview for Fulbright program was like 15 minutes maximum.
mm, yeah, why I say that it's short because there are two, two, two more two more like rounds competitions, and okay, let's
Okay, so it was
um
short in comparison with
yeah,
the further stages, yeah?
in comparison to what was next, yeah, it was a short one.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, it was 30 minutes. Then I got the email that I'm invited to the third round. I don't know how to say it, like round competition, and it was supposed to be in person. And it means that you go to Kiev and with other kids from all over Ukraine, and you have like actually some activities there that usually those were either like some psychological games or like just activities to see how well you can find a common language with your peers. Like
It's like for testing
they
soft
want to make
skills, right?
Yes, they want to make sure that like you are not an isolated and self-centered individual that is just like only cares about school or academics and like is very rude and impolite, because actually when you go to that particular school you also like represent your country. You are not only like you are also your country, and whatever you do, people would think that all people in your country like actually do that, because like I'm the only Ukrainian here, and if I mess up with something they would think, oh my god, those Ukrainians, they're so dumb. Yeah.
I
um,
don't think that it happens like that nowadays. I mean, we're all particular individuals, and
yes, but like still it's like it's better to like tell good things about your country rather than, oh my god, like that Masha from Ukraine, she like was binge drinking alcohol and used drugs the first day she arrived on campus. No way, no way.
yeah, that is funny. Okay, so that was the first
Yes,
stage, yes. So and because of COVID, was it online also?
there was no COVID. There was no COVID era. It was like, it was in December. It was December 2019. No
Uh,
COVID. Yeah. I cannot even actually remember, like times with no COVID.
yeah, me too. I just
Oh,
thought about it, like
it's
uh,
just like, wow.
how much time
Yes.
yeah was it?
It was quite long. It was like 5 hours or 6 hours.
Wow.
And yeah, and I remember when I like got out of the building, yeah, I was very exhausted. And we also had to write 2 essays, uh, like under time limit. So not like when you fill out your application, when you like think and then you rewrite and then you proofread and then you actually fill it out, but like you had very limited amount of time. And I wrote one essay is like on just a very regular topic, like should children have household chores? And the other one was about a person you really admire and like with whom you would like to spend some time with. And I actually did write about a female scientist, Maria Curie, who is very, very famous. And I like wrote stuff like, oh, she was not only a very gifted scientist, but also a very kind woman. She was so energetic. She was so practical. Everything like she did academically, she immediately did want to put it into practice and actually like cure people, change the world for better, and like those things. And I did not expect it to work, but it did work. And then some time passed, and I got notified that I'm actually accepted to round 4. And yeah, round 4 was in January, and I also had to come to Kiev. It was also like some group activities, but also a big interview. In my case, it was 45 minutes, I guess. And it was not like person interview. It was like me and 3 people interviewing me at the same time. Like
One by one asking
I'm
questions.
no, like all together. We were at the same
I mean, in the same place, but one asks question, you answer, and another, yeah.
Yeah, like it's I don't know, but it was so fast, and you had to like reply very quickly and very thoughtfully at the same time. So you
And
didn't have any time to think at
was it
all.
all in English? Yes.
Actually, the last one was in Ukrainian because it was like with Ukrainians, but they actually asked me some questions in English, some questions in Ukrainian.
Wow.
And I have like I think I it's only like my assumption, but the point why it was in Ukrainian because they want to make sure that you're also like good at Ukrainian because like a lot of people like only speak like Russian and they're like not very comfortable with their Ukrainian.
Okay.
And they actually want like patriotic kids who would like hi Ukraine is the best and stuff like that.
And have you already
And it was
had?
not a big
Oh, sorry for interrupt. Have you already had
no.
some international activities like where you represent your country, like here in the
Can
US?
you repeat it because I didn't get the question?
Yeah, okay. Have you already had some international activities where you need to represent your country here in the US?
COVID. Especially in the US, everything is very strict when it comes to COVID. No, we didn't, though we were supposed to, but it's sort of not possible at the moment. And we like all agreed that we would hold those activities later on when the situation is a little bit better. Though we had matriculation ceremonies, that was like a lot of fun. I mean, like it was not a lot of fun, but it was very interesting because we were all wearing like girls were wearing like really beautiful dresses and boys were wearing suits and we were signing the book like a big thick book that actually meant that we are staying with this community. We're like
It's like in American
it was like
films, yeah?
yes, it was like in Harry Potter or something like that. So interesting. And yeah, it was all like probably even a little bit dramatic, but it was just like you're all honored and privileged to enter this community and be a part of it for the following 2 years. And we were all just like, yes, serve with dignity. Yes, and it was the only like ceremony they held for us. Though we were supposed to have a lot of other events especially like oriented on like promoting that international environment on campus. And I have my like national costume with me. It's hanging in my wardrobe, probably already covered with dust. But
Is it like national, like Ukrainian?
it's like national. Yes, it's very national. It's like
Actually, I don't know this kind of vocabulary in English, like this thing, yes, on your head or not?
rough,
Rough?
yeah.
Yeah, do you have it?
I forgot it, but like my mom sent it me via like mail.
So now you have it,
And
or is it still on the
yeah,
way? Okay.
yeah. So yeah, the ruff and the like long embroidered dress. Yeah, it is supposed to look like my mom says it's supposed to look like Ukrainian vyshyvanka, but it looks like Russian cellophane. So it works for both.
Yeah, and are there any Russian students?
Yeah, there is a girl from Nizhny Novgorod. Like
My favorite
she's
city.
a second year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a first year because like this school, the whole school is designed like for 2 years, and I'm a first year student and she's a second year. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you get in touch a lot, or do you hang out with
Yes,
other
we were like very good friends, and we still are, because she was like very helpful. She was always there for me, like when I did need help.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
really good.
and there are also like people who are. The point is there are obviously a lot of Americans in this school, like especially this year, we have a lot of Americans, and Americans does not mean that like they're originally Americans. There's some like immigrant Americans. So we have some Russian speaking people. For example, I think we have like 3 Russian speaking Americans who are like actually the children of immigrants, and like Sasha, Danya, Andrei. Like obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I don't feel like very lonely here or something, and I have a lot of people like to speak in Russian too. Though there's only one Russian girl, but the whole community is like
International. Mm-hmm. I
yeah.
mean, in
But
Russian speaking too. Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to know like how did it finish, like the whole story. It was the last round, yeah, when you were
Oh,
interviewed, yeah, for 45 minutes with 3
oopsie.
people, yeah.
Thank you for actually bringing that up, because I'm that person who gets very, very distracted from the main topic, and I will.
It's okay,
Yeah,
it's all interesting, but we just like went to this
yes,
Ukrainian
we
thing
should
and
finish
I
actually.
asked, yes, like some other questions. So yeah, so now let's come back.
Yes. It was like interview and then also some group activities, and then it was over. I just had to wait, and it was horrible because I already knew that like I already have done everything I could ever do. Мамочки, что с английским? That I thought I knew. I realized that I already like had done everything I could ever like do, and I just had to wait, and it was pretty intimidating. But then in February, I got a call from my national committee, and they were just like, "Hi Maria, we're happy to notify you that you are nominated to UWC USA," and it was just
Like, are you kidding? Yeah, something
that's
like
it.
that.
That's
That's
it.
it. Okay. So did you believe it
Yeah.
like from the very beginning?
Yes. The point is that like when I received that call, I was like at this science competition in Kiev, and I was just like, I was so like occupied with my work, and I was like so stressed about the competition, and I was just like preparing everything, and then I got that call, and I was just like, how? Like, I was very happy. I could not actually believe it, but the point is like, yeah, the point is that I also that then there were some troubles because firstly they gave me only 90% scholarship, and it may sound like a lot of fun, like 90%, wow, cool, but those 10% are actually like $8,000, like, and I, I would not be able to pay them to come here actually, like, even though I am able to pay a, like a tiny amount of money, not that big actually, and it was like very stressful for me because I was like, oh my god, I did want this so desperately, and I actually got it, and now I cannot go there because I cannot afford it. It was like the months of a very bad feeling, but I did pull myself together, and I started like emailing national committee, like with, I don't know, like слезные emails that, hi, like I actually did try to negotiate and to communicate because like it's always a way out to actually use your mouth and your words to address a question, an issue. And I was just like, hi, the situation is like this. I cannot pay that amount of money. There is a list of documents that actually proves that my family is not able to do it. If you like, if nothing changes, I will just have to reject this option. And like, I was like, and also like, oh, and the point is that like during that time, I also won like a national science competition. Like I received the first place, and I was like nominated to go to the international level in the US, of course. And I was like mentioned it also like, hi, like I cannot pay, but you see, like I have just won this one more competition, so probably you can like just think everything and like make adjustments for me. And then I had also to wait, and like in some weeks I actually received a response that yes, like we changed, like we made some adjustments, and now your scholarship amount is 100%. And it was the happiest day in my life, not when I just received the call. It was like, because I realized that this whole thing is over, like I'm fine now. Yeah.
Okay, and did your parents help you with the documents and with the um, response you like with the emails that you had to write, or was it just your initiative to do that?
What, like, did somebody help me?
Yeah, maybe your parents like no.
My father did not know about my leaving the country like until August. My mom only knew. Like my mom was the only person who knew about it, but like we were not telling anyone at all because like I didn't see the point. Like, just what's the point? Yeah, no, like my mom is not very good at English, so she could not really help me with that. And
I mean,
I
just
did
showing
everything.
you the ways of negotiation, just in Ukrainian or in Russian, and like discussing the point, or
Like, sort of, yes. Of course, she was there for me, but again, like, she's not that experienced. She did help me a little bit, but um, I don't know, like, the majority, I guess, was still on me. And even though it was like a very difficult time for me because I was constantly stressed, and I was like, just, I remember that my mental health was like in a very bad condition. I have learned so much from this whole like year because like I learned how to write emails effectively, how to write essays, how to go through the interview process, how actually apply for the US visa. And that's where we come to probably also like the funniest part, because just applying for the US visa on your own, I did apply on my own. Like, I did fill all the documents on my own, just like, because my mom does not know how to do it. Like, nobody in our family knows how to do it. And of course, was not like paying for an agency because, like, I don't have money to pay for an agency. So, yes, even just applying for the US visa alone is a very complicated process, but applying for the US visa during COVID
It's
is
even
the
more.
worst thing that can happen to you in your life. Like, it's the worst thing that can ever happen to you in your life. Because yeah, like, borders are sort of closed. Embassy is sort of closed. Everything is sort of like shut down. And then here you are with your high aspirations and zero money trying to go to the US in the middle of 2020.
Why didn't they change it to the distance format? Could it be possible for them?
Yes, actually they did want to, but then they were just like, no, like, come. And it actually, like, sorry, my, like, way of speaking is a little bit chaotic, but all schools in our state, all schools in our, I guess I cannot say that in the US overall, because, like, I hate generalizing things, but okay, like, I guess 99% of schools in the US are closed entirely, and only due to negotiation with the local government, my school was able to attain permission to actually bring our students in campus.
Wow.
And it's like, yes, I guess that we are the only school in the whole state that is currently functioning, like, and is holding like in-person classes. That's why we had to undergo like quarantine and stuff like that. Yes.
So about the
And
visa.
also, like,
Huh?
yeah, and also when I was applying for visa, um, oh, wait a second.
I'm counting the number of people.
Sorry, just like my roommate is, yeah, I also have a roommate, so yeah, I have to like start things out. Yes, and also when I was applying for visa, Trump was signing some strange things about international students. He was just like, oh, they cannot come to the US, and then, oh, they can come, but they actually cannot come. And I was just like, please, man, stop it. I no longer can. I have zero brain capacity for your tricks. Please, stop it. Yes, and like, what I could not believe in actually is getting my visa, because I thought that it's impossible. Firstly, because of this overall situation. Second, because it's the US visas. Third, because of Trump. And like, fourth, because I was doing everything on my own and I also had like nobody to consult with. And I thought like, oh my God, I put something wrong in my like visa application.
Yeah, I also had this feeling when I applied for the Spanish visa, and I was also like doing all the things on my own, and I was anxiously not. I wasn't able to sleep because of that. Like, oh, maybe I've done something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely the same. Absolutely the same. And about sleep, actually, yeah, I couldn't sleep for probably like several months. Like, I mean, in a good way, because I had nightmares. I probably should have been less dramatic, less over dramatic, but
No,
I
you,
just
you
was
you
so
shouldn't
scared.
be. It's like it's just a common thing when your mental health is like in a bad condition and you feel this all stress on you. And that's why I asked if anybody helped you, because you just didn't have a person to rely on. You just had to do it on your own. Being like a teenager, it's like sounds impossible, but you did it. And I'm sitting like just proud of you, and I'm like,
Thank
this
you.
is
Yeah, I'm
her.
also like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, like, and I got my visa, I guess, like a week before I actually left um
So
the
how was
country.
the process? Yes, could you apply it online or like what happened?
Yes, you actually do apply online, and then you should schedule an in-person interview with like an officer, and that's my roommate. She's
Yeah, I
from
see.
Mongolia.
Uh,
Um, you have to apply for, yeah, you have to schedule an in-person interview, and my in-person interview was rescheduled 4 times because of COVID. And imagine like embassy emailing you like, "Hi, now interview this week," and you're just like, interesting. Then when I have like my tickets bought already, yeah. So now it sounds funny, but then it was like back then it was a big nightmare, just a big nightmare, and um and something like that. Um, yes,
yeah, so you finally like did the interview or like made, I don't know what's the verb.
yes,
There
yes,
was,
yes, yes.
yeah, there was the interview and they you got the visa. Yeah, didn't you have any troubles like with the documents applied wrong or something like that?
I thought that I would have like I thought like I did feel I did not even know if those were like right or wrong. I was like going to a bank and paying a fee on my own. Then I like went home and printed out the documents and filled them out. Like it was so like random and chaotic, and that's why I had a bad feeling that I would never get my US visa. Because like I was just like
Like doing things for the first time, obviously.
for the first time and also like very randomly, I did not even think that something would work out. And like yeah, like just I was sort of on my own. Not sort of, like I actually was. I of course had like my mom, but she was more there for like mental support and not like actual support with the documents. And I don't even want, like it gives me so much of anxiety even now, like
Yeah,
even
okay,
though
so
it was
let's
like
change the
a
topic
lot
to
of time
some,
ago.
yeah, to some other
Just it was
yeah,
difficult. It was like challenging.
yeah. Okay, so what advice would you give to those people who'd like to apply, maybe not for the same program, but for some others? Because if you wanted to get the education abroad, maybe you've searched for some other programs and maybe even
Hmm.
they're applying to them. So what advice would you give to these people how to succeed in these like
Um,
wishes?
mhm. I absolutely got the question. I think it depends on what your actually goals are, both like long-term goals, like do you want to immigrate to like a particular country, or you just want to get like an extraordinary abroad experience for like 1 year or 1 month and then just come back and live your ordinary life. Both options are absolutely wonderful, absolutely fantastic. It just depends on what you want. Um, I remember from probably grade 8, I was a fanatic. I did not know where would I go. I did not know like where would I continue my education, but I knew that I did want to study abroad, and not just like for like, hey, I'm studying abroad, I'm such a cool person, but like for actually the purpose of attaining knowledge and stuff like that. And I was just like searching like randomly, I know like opportunities in like Czech Republic, France, Germany, um, Canada. So I did not come up with anything like really relevant, but I have actually I have like understood how education abroad works, and now I'm very knowledgeable about education systems in various countries. And yeah, I also like did apply in my like in grade 10. I guess I applied for a flex program, if you know what it is.
Yeah, I
It's just
know.
like probably you know, but like for those who do not know, because I did not know, it's like a program that actually gives you an opportunity to study in the US for 1 year, like to attend American like high school and live with a host family and gain that fantastic experience of being an international exchange student in the US. But and I sort of like went, I was accepted to the final round, but then I got rejected, so I didn't get that opportunity. And
Did
obviously I
they
didn't go.
explain why?
Hmm?
Did they explain why? I mean, like the reason.
No, they didn't, but now, like, when I look back, I think that I was not ready enough. Um, First, my English was not good enough. Second, my mentality was not ready for that experience. Um, like back then, I thought, oh my god, it's so unfair. They rejected such a wonderful student as me. But now I understand that I was not mentally ready for it.
Okay, and about
Yeah,
your English, on which of the stages did they check it with a TOEFL certificate, or did you take it just for yourself?
um, for this particular program, I did not. You are not supposed. You are not expected to like take any standardized testings or something like that. But I did take TOEFL in March, and I did not study for it at all. Like I studied for it probably like a couple of hours. I like took
Looked through
like
the format, yeah.
yeah, I looked through actually how it looks like, and that's all. Um, why I was why I was that like irresponsible, because I did not pay for it. Other people did pay for it, like other organizations. That's why I was like, nah. Anyways, um, yeah, just sort of like that. And I got like B2 result. It was in March actually. It was in March.
Now I'm sure that you
Um,
have C1, no less.
I don't know, like we'll see. And yeah, but
It,
probably
yeah, so is it comfortable for your studies now? So don't you get any terms challenging, or maybe some
it's
professors
it
difficult to
was
understand?
it was very bad at the beginning. Even though I thought that like my English was fine, I never thought that it was like amazing or fantastic, but it was like fine. But when you just come here and everybody's like cracking jokes and socializing and like everybody has friends, and you also want it because like naturally I'm a very social person, but you cannot do it because of your English, and you are just staying there too afraid to introduce yourself. It was like how my first week here was, and like okay, my name is Masha, I'm 17 years old. Bye.
London is the
It
capital
was
of
like,
Great
oh,
Britain.
yes. Now, like, and also academics. I organized my classes so there is like less humanities heavy classes and more math heavy classes, because like
Aha, so you can
math
organize
heavy.
the classes yourself, yes? So put the number of
You
subjects,
choose the classes yourself, yes. Like
all of them, or there is like a fixed number of classes you need to
there are
have.
some certain like requirements, but basically, yeah, like I have the highest possible level of mathematics, like chemistry, um, biology. Like I'm better to take physics if I want to deal with numbers, but like I just have a lot of prior experience with biology, so I went for biology. And even from social sciences, like we are required to take one social science. I decided to take economics because it's more to deal with graphs and like diagrams and numbers than with like wording and actually expressing your thoughts. Because like I cannot imagine myself taking history here because it would be impossible. I would fail that class. But and even economics at the beginning was very difficult for me. My first grade was D. Then I was just like shocked. Oh my god, it only started and I already have that bad grade. But then I was just like studying insanely and like trying to actually learn necessary vocabulary to be able to form normal sentences. And yeah, then it like was B, and now economics is like one of my most like successful classes.
Wow, yeah, that's great. And actually, if you have such, let's imagine that you have big like grades till the end of the year. Will they reject your scholarship, or will you just have it till the end of the college? Like not
The
college,
point
boarding school, yeah.
is, no, like, I don't know. I just don't know any people who were in situation like that, because like all people are either pure geniuses here or like very motivated. Like I, I'm I'm the one who is like not at the top, somewhere in the middle here, but like I'm really motivated to work. And I don't know, like I cannot even imagine a situation like that in this particular institution. But probably yes, probably no. It's up to them actually. A person can actually fail one of their classes probably, but imagine that that person has a lot of like leadership extracurriculars, and like he's running student council, and he's running like, or she, like he, she, whatever, like they are running like a lot of like leadership activities. And yeah, like they failed their chemistry class, but like they're doing a lot of other stuff. I don't know, like it's really like it really depends on each person. I cannot speak for the whole faculty.
Yeah.
I cannot even imagine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, so here we come to the differences, yes, between, so this is like not a high institution, yeah, it's a school. So can you
It's a
compare,
school.
can you compare your last stages of like Ukrainian education that you got and here, how this experience is different? Like, I mean, it is a lot, there are a lot of differences, but main ones that you notice just maybe in the first
So
days.
the main difference between Ukrainian school and American school.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. Also, not also, but like, I can't stand generalizing things, because when some people say, oh, like, oh, like nobody in the US is motivated to study, and like the schools are very bad there, I'm just like, okay, then probably you should speak for yourself. Probably you went to a bad school or something. It's not bad to go to a bad school, but like, can you just speak for your experience? Because yeah, and at the same time, it's bad like to say that, oh, like Slav, like Russian, Ukrainian schools are the way more advanced than American schools, because it's not true. It's actually all depends on people, but okay, whatever. The whole point is probably, so I will speak for my experience. In Ukraine, I went to the most regular school, just public school in my neighborhood. It was not like either humanities oriented or math oriented lyceum or like something like that. It was just like neighborhood school, neighborhood public school. And here I am attending a boarding school, like a private boarding school for like people who undergo like very selective process to come here. And it's a massive, like not massive, but like there is really a big difference in people in your surroundings. Because in my school in Ukraine, I was trying to be active, and I was trying to like take parts in Olympiads and like various competitions, and I was laughed at because of that. But here, everybody is so motivated. Everybody is so assertive when it comes to organizing some activities or like I don't know, like doing something. They're also good at academics. They're also good at something else, just like or like athlete, pianist, or like violinist, pro professional debater, like model United Nations, whatever. Just everybody's so good at both academics and like those other aspects of life. And when you just live with all of those people, you accidentally understand how dumb you are and how much work you should do actually to like
Does it
I don't know
motivate you
like
or demotivate?
um I don't know, I know it demotivates some people, but when it comes to me it motivates me. I think that everything motivates me. Like bad things motivate me, good things inspire and therefore motivate me. Yeah, it's just like how my brain works. I always say that whatever, like both bad things and good things, they all should motivate me. For example, my A in economics motivates me because it's an A in economics, and my C in math also motivates me because this means that like if I work harder, I can get a B and then probably an A in math.
Yeah, because
And
you
math
have
is
this
very
experience already, yeah, in economics.
yes.
But when you got D, what did you feel first? Like,
Oh, I was crying in my room, of course. Um, I felt very bad, but the point is that when I feel bad, I'm actually trying to reflect on the whole situation and not just like either avoid it or I don't know, like forget about it. I did my best to reflect on what I did wrong, and then I also reached out to some people who are second years who are like um, already have been here for a while, and I was just like, oh, like I got a bad grade, what should I do? And then it turned out that they say like, hey, the majority of people here, especially international students, get very low scores uh, at first because of their English and because they have not adjusted yet to the whole system. They have not found yet a common language with a professor. They don't know the format of assignments. And like they just told me, hey, it's totally okay. You will improve soon if you work, of course. If you don't just sit on your butt and like do nothing.
but there are no such
And
people, yeah, here who just sit on their butts.
yeah, like there are some people who actually yeah, there are some like
coach potatoes.
yeah, sort of like probably they're just like rich and can pay, and like when you pay for coming here, it's much easier, of course, to come here when you can pay the whole price, when you can pay $80,000.
Well, I
But
would blame myself that my parents have to pay such a big amount of money and I'm sitting here doing nothing.
if your parents have like an insanely huge amount of money, then you probably would not blame yourself. Um, yeah, like there are some people, but I just don't talk to them. I don't like. I mean, like I don't talk.
Much,
I
yes,
just
like you are not
yeah,
friends,
just
yeah.
much. I communicate with them, but they're not the people I'm comfortable with. And I mostly communicate with Chinese students because Chinese students are the best. Because they're robots, they're insane, and they motivate me so much. And they're so knowledgeable and skillful and talented and competitive and stuff like that.
Are there Indian
They're
guys?
good at everything. What?
Are there Indian guys and girls mainly?
Yeah, there are Indian guys, and they're also brilliant. But I don't know. For some reasons, I mostly hang out with Chinese students.
Just there is a
It was
meme, yeah, sorry. There is a meme that no matter what you do, there is an Indian guy who does it better.
there's an Asian guy who is better. No, wait. Roses are red, violets are blue. There is always an Asian who is better than you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's actually true. It's actually true. Yes. What did I also want to say?
Sorry, something about
I
Chinese
mean,
guys,
like,
yeah?
it's so, yeah, it's so interesting that, like, for example, like, I consider, like, I really like Russian history, like the Romanovs' house and stuff like that. I just like it for random reasons. Um, and it was so interesting that I could not discuss it with a person from Russia, with a girl from Russia, but I could discuss it with a random Chinese guy because he knows everything. He knows everything starting from mathematics and physics and finishing with like random facts from Russian history, not like just world
Chinese,
history, but
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
that particular
It's like
like
I felt also surprised when I went for an internship in Spanish school, and the man, the teacher, primary school teacher, just regular school, asked me what city I'm from, and I said, you probably don't know, Rostov on Don. And he was like, oh, I know, I read like Quiet Dawn, you know, I read Sholokhov, and I was like, not a lot of Russian people do that.
yes. And wait, one more time. I didn't want to offend anyone here, but like, uh, I also like Russian classical whatever literature, like Dostoevsky and Tolstoy. And I was also like, I cannot discuss it with my Russian friend from Nizhny Novgorod, but I can discuss Dostoevsky and Tolstoy and Solzhenitsyn and Sholokhov with Chinese students. Because they
Chinese.
know everything. They have read Tolstoy and
How
Dostoevsky,
much time do they
and
sleep at night?
they do not sleep, they do not eat, they only study, and like most of them are bilingual, like because they're taught like Chinese and English from the kindergarten, and yes, and oh, and the point is that they're actually always like sort of a little bit isolated. They're just like, nah, all of those
Yeah,
other
I will better
people
go to study, yes, not just hanging out.
are not good enough to hang out with them, but surprisingly, they accepted me to their community. And now I'm probably like the only non-Asian who's hanging out with them.
Wow, so you're really special.
Yes, like sort of, probably. I'm not sure. Um, be like yes, and it's such a like it's probably culture. I don't have like a lot of cultural surprises here, but it was like a cultural shock that I can discuss Dostoevsky in English and like also like I know like Tchaikovsky, um, Russian operas, Russian ballets, just also some random stuff with Chinese students. Like, come on, like, oh,
Y-
it
Yeah,
just it's so
I
unusual.
feel that. Yeah, I feel that vibe. Okay, so what are your future plans then?
Not to die here.
Yeah,
um,
probably of COVID.
um,
Yeah.
of COVID and of academics, because actually studying like is very challenging for me. But anyways, um, okay, I'm planning to apply to the U.S. university. I like I also like don't speak about it a lot because I don't want like, oh, you know what, I'm applying to the U.S. university and then like I get rejected and everybody just like, nah, yeah. Um, just don't want to talk about it a lot in advance, but like here we are spilling the tea, so yes. Um, yeah, I would like to apply to the universities in the US.
And you told
And
that you want to be a
um,
scientist, like in what field exactly? Or haven't you decided?
it's like uh, chemistry, biology, probably mathematics. Like, I'm not actually sure. I'm currently at the stage of exploring what the world has to offer, but it would be definitely something from natural sciences, and it would also be something like mm, math heavy. I mean, like, if it's biology, it's not like studying plants or something. It's just like some very advanced research, some really fancy stuff that are happening in our body. Or like if it's chemistry, then also like not just like, but something like really, really cool.
Okay, so your plans are to make a great contribution to the world scientific world.
Or to get a good job so I can yeah, I was like very romantic before I came here. I'm like, oh, I want to change people's life for better, but now I'm just like,
Study not to die.
oh, I want to change my life for better
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
It's also like a valid feeling. Like, it's okay to care for yourself.
Yeah, so
And
when you care for
then
yourself first, yeah, you would be able to contribute.
yeah, and I also understand that like here I understood that everything is pretty flexible and you should not be very certain about everything. But like in Russia or like Ukraine or whatever, I guess that when like a person is like age 10, he or she like they already know that they have sort of like a life template already. Like, oh, you finish school, then you go to university, then you go to masters, then you work, and then you die. And here, like in the US or probably like in Europe or just in other countries, there are so many options. Like you can take a gap year, you can not go to university, you can like find a job or something. You can, I don't know, like go travel, you can do whatever you want. And like you don't have the template to fulfill. You don't have like your life is not a to-do list here. Your life is like what you want it to be. And you can be very flexible in your decisions. You can be very irrational if you want to be irrational. But you also can be very rational and you can like finish like graduate from school and then go to college and then go to PhD or something and just then find a job, marry a good guy, and live your life happily somewhere in the suburbs of New York. It's just like it's all up to you here, and that freedom is so inspiring and like motivating. And yeah.
So are you planning to stay here? I mean, like in the best possible versions of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I would like to go to the university here and therefore like stay for 4 more years in the US after I graduate. Yes, I don't know, like the just American educational system really suits my needs. Because if you know, like there is a liberal arts college system that is like when you're not really focused on your major, but you can also like explore various areas. You can like be a physics major, but also like take poetry classes or like literature classes, and you're not really focused on your. You do not only study physics, but you just learn everything.
Piece by piece. Okay, and does it affect like the people's knowledge? I mean, not from the boarding school where you study, but I know that a lot of people blame an American system that people don't know where like Russia is on the map or something like that.
Well, if a person knows, I don't know, like in this place, my friends know at what year Tsar Pavel I died. And
Was
like
it?
at what page of Crime and Punishment something happened.
Yeah, please let me tell you. Like, am I retarded or not? Like, 1806. Yeah.
What?
Pavel the First, 1806. Yeah, something like that.
I
Or
guess yes, but I don't actually remember.
yeah. Okay, let me Google it because yeah, I'm quite interested.
I guess he started his like job as a Tsar at 1801.
1801. Yes. So, but he died.
Um,
Yeah. Well, I don't see this information. Yeah.
that's going in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I will Google it just for myself later. Well, so what maybe what else would you like to say for those who are inspired by you and would like to, I don't know, to do something meaningful in their lives too? So what is your
um
like final
just back
words?
to the last question, sorry.
Ah, yeah.
Also, like I could speak only from my experience. It does not mean that all Americans know are so knowledgeable about Dostoevsky and Russia and history. It's only like I'm living in my own bubble here. Like I do not really communicate with real Americans. Um,
So
it's just like
I will come back in 2 years, and when you enter like a real American university, I will ask you some more questions then.
wait, the point is that I really hope to enter like a good university. No, like I mean like no, like I know what real Americans are. I just don't communicate with them a lot because I deliberately, is it the word? Okay, on purpose. I want like my inner soul tends to communicate with all those like smart people because I like subconsciously I want to be like them, like, and I want to look at them and like, oh my god, probably one day I achieve that level of perfection. But yeah, it's just like how I feel. Okay,
Yeah.
done with this.
Yes,
The
sorry.
last question.
Before that, one more question. So, do you think that environment you're surrounded by can motivate you or demotivate you at some point? Like, can boost you to the right direction?
I would say that the environment is the most important thing because like you can be like the dumbest person ever, but if you're put like in that bubble with people who are like one life level ahead of you or whatever, um I don't know, probably you can just like sit there, but like I would like to look at them and actually see how actually good you can be at something, how progressive you can be, how smart you can be, and it would motivate me and it would make me want to be like them. And
Want to be
yeah, I also
like you, but
cannot
better.
speak for everyone, just because like for some people's mentality, even here on this campus, being surrounded by all those fantastic people is very demotivating and like distressing. But it's not my case. I did want to come here for that environment of like, and to see those energetic and very driven people who can like live without sleep, who can like live without, I don't know, like something, who can actually sacrifice, I don't know, like watching Netflix and I don't know, go and read something or create a project instead of like watching like random cartoons or something or TV shows. Like, and uh, difficult to explain. Um,
I
so yeah,
understand.
the
So it
overall
motivates you. Uh-huh.
answer is yes. I think it's very important. It's one of the most important things that actually shape you as a personality. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So your final word to
is yes.
no, I
Definitely
mean
yes, I would
to
say.
people who are watching
Ah,
us. Yeah.
to people is actually, if you want to achieve something, be a fanatic. Uh, like wake up with that and go to sleep with that, and go to sleep like thinking of that particular goal. Um, I know it may sound weird and probably intimidating. And my mom was just like, when I was like applying, I was like crazy. And she was just like, oh, Masha, like you should like spend time with friends. You should not be that concerned about everything. But I could not be like not concerned. And I was like really a big fanatic. And yeah, so if you want to do something, if you really want to achieve something, just always think of it. Like always think, always like evaluate every single action of yours, like everything you do. How is this currently helping me to achieve my goal? Like um is this useful for me? I mean, like, if you cannot live all of your life like that, it's impossible. For example, now I do not live it like that. I live like a regular life. But like when I was in that, when I had that like race, when I was applying, when I was in the process of applying, and I had those like 2 months to actually fill out my application and write all those essays. During those 2 months of my life, I was just being so concentrated and focused, and the only thing I was thinking about was actually the process of applying. Like, what do I do to actually boost my application? What do I do to, I don't know, like, improve my application? I don't say that you should always be like a fanatic, because it will probably mean that you will die by the age of 30 or something, and you
If you're
want to
not a
live a
Chinese
happy
guy,
life.
sorry.
Yeah, like if you're not Chinese, like if you're Chinese, you will probably be fine. But here we are just like regular random Slav dudes wandering around with hopes for something good. Yeah. So
Okay. I just want to add that I remember your blog. Masha has her own blog
no,
for how much?
we
How
don't
much
speak
time?
about the situation.
No, I mean, I just
We're
wanted
talking
to say that
about
I
special.
remember several years ago, she was just, I don't know, studying in the cafes, like preparing like for some school subjects, and yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, now here she
That's so
is.
just funny.
Yeah, and I was really surprised when you just texted me like, can I like promote my blog in your one, and I just, yeah, I entered the blog and I've seen that she's in the US, like not in the Ukraine anymore, and wow. I've just seen the whole process of you becoming such a good person, and such a, yeah,
Oh,
I'm just so
that's so
proud of
nice.
you. Yeah.
I I'm actually very thankful to you for both promoting my blog, because like I know that, like, just thank you for doing that for me, but also thank you for inviting me for this lovely conversation, because it was also very good for me to like speak something out that was in my head, because like, yeah, and also like to share with people, and
Yeah, I hope a
I
lot
don't
of
know, just
people
to
will
talk
watch
to you
it
was.
because it's so useful in like all the directions. For the ones who are interested in just like listening to some English, and for the ones who are interested in the applying for such institutions, and just for the ones who are interested in you. Yeah, so
Hmm, it's so cool.
yeah.
Oh, do we know? Do we have the like the info who like are watching, or like who were watching? Like, I mean, like how many people? Oh, like there were some people. Yeah.
Yeah, there were
Oh,
some
and I see.
there still are. So 5 people are watching now, and uh what else? Where can I see it? I also have like uh some numbers. I will send them to you after.
Okay,
Yeah,
it does not
so
really matter, but like I was just like curious, like who is
mhm,
currently there.
mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say people goodbye, and like some maybe
Oh,
last words. So happy Halloween, guys! Even though we're staying like isolated, me myself, as you can see, like celebrating with my black
mm,
cat. So happy Halloween, and like
yes.
stay curious, stay fanatic, and I don't know, uh, don't betray your goals, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, happy Halloween, and happy Halloween, everybody. Unfortunately, I'm celebrating my Halloween in my room
Have you
in
got a
isolation.
pumpkin at least?
No, we don't have anything for now, because like it was so scary. Because I mean, like there was like one case on campus, and the point is that why it's also scary, because if if there are like 12 or something cases on campus, like there's an agreement with the government of the state. If there are 20 cases, 12 cases on campus, the school gets shut down, and then I have nowhere to go to, and I'm
Hmm.
like, that's why it's so stressful. Because if the school, it's like my home. I live here, I eat here, I do everything here, and like, if the school shuts down, I have nowhere to go to. That's why it's also stressful, and I'm so worried about this whole COVID situation. And I'm just like staying in my room, so not to spread something, because it's all very serious. And like
I think everyone
in the US,
is like that in your case because like all the
yes,
people are from
yes,
other countries.
that's why this whole like atmosphere on campus is so like depressing at the moment, because people are scared that there would be more cases, and therefore like, a lot of people are in a situation like me. They're like half of the planet away from home, and
Exactly
if
half of
something
a planet.
happens,
Hmm.
yes, exactly half of the planet. Um, if something happens, they're just like,
Yeah.
of course, the school would care for them, but like it's
Yeah.
all
So
very
fingers
uncertain.
crossed that everything
Yeah,
will be fine.
yeah, it's better to think that everything will be fine. We will follow all the rules, and yeah, that COVID, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Everyone hates. I mean, like everyone literally.
Yes, totally agree.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so it's probably like was a last word and probably a goodbye.
Okay. So let's say goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. It was very cool.
Yeah. Goodbye, people.